The sound of hooves echoes through the valley, but this time it carries something deeper. A memory, a promise, and a return no one ever expected. As the wind brushes through the trees at Heartland Ranch, a familiar figure steps into view. He left behind pain, love, and unfinished dreams. But now, Ty Borden is back. Not just in name, not just in memory, but truly, unmistakably present. What brought him home? What secrets hide behind his eyes? And how will Amy and the others face the ghost they once let go? This isn't just a comeback. It's a journey of healing, heartache, and hope. One that will leave you holding your breath. It begins quietly. Heartland Ranch stands under a sky painted in early autumn gold. Birds glide across the horizon, and horses graze peacefully in the fields. Everything seems normal, but something is different. Amy feels it before anyone else does. A strange stillness in the air, a quiet tug in her heart. She brushes Spartan, lost in thought, the past whispering in every gust of wind. She doesn't know why, but today feels heavier, more alive. Inside the house, Jack notices Amy's distant look. He tries to cheer her up with his usual calm wisdom, but even he senses something brewing. Lou is busy juggling calls from the town council. Heartland's rhythm continues. Yet there's tension beneath it all, a tension that no one dares to speak aloud. Suddenly, a truck pulls up in the distance. A dusty, worn vehicle no one recognizes. Amy walks out to see who it is. And for a moment, time seems to freeze. She squints into the light, and what she sees nearly brings her to her knees. It's him, Ty Borden, not a dream, not a memory, but real, standing right in front of her. His hair's longer, his eyes hold weight like he's been to places words can't describe. For a second, neither of them speaks. Amy's breath catches. She doesn't move. Ty simply stares at her, his lips trembling slightly as if trying to find the right words after years of silence. Everyone rushes outside, Jack, Lou, Tim, and suddenly the silence breaks. Shock, disbelief, tears, hugs, questions. Ty tries to explain, but his voice cracks. All he can say is, "I had to come back. I couldn't stay away any longer." The audience is left hanging. Why did he leave? Where has he been? And what brought him back now? That night, the family sits around the dinner table, emotions swirling like a storm. Ty shares fragments of his story. He wasn't dead, but in hiding. A mix of danger, guilt, and a desperate need to protect Amy and Lindy. He says he discovered something that changed everything, but he stops short of revealing it. Amy's heart aches with confusion. She's angry, relieved, and overwhelmed all at once. Later, Amy walks alone under the stars, replaying his words. Her mind drifts back to the nights she cried herself to sleep, the days she raised Lindy alone, the moments she tried to be strong. And now, he's here. Just like that. But can things ever go back to how they were? In the barn, Ty finds Lindy asleep with her favorite horse plush. He kneels beside her quietly, tears rolling down his cheeks. He's seeing his daughter again for the first time in years. He whispers, "I'm so sorry," knowing it's not enough, but it's a start. Outside, Amy watches him from the shadows. Her heart pounds. She knows this is only the beginning. Ty's return is more than a shock. It's a wave crashing into everything they've built since he left. And behind his return is a truth no one is ready for. A truth that could change Heartland forever. The peace is shattered, but maybe, just maybe, it's the beginning of something new. The next morning at Heartland begins with the kind of stillness that feels almost sacred. The sun rises gently over the ranch, casting a soft light across the fields. Horses move quietly in their paddocks, unaware of the emotional storm brewing inside the house. Ty sits alone on the porch, sipping coffee like a man trying to ground himself in a life he once knew. His eyes scan the land, familiar yet distant. Amy watches him from the kitchen window, 1,000 thoughts spinning in her mind. She wants answers, but part of her fears what those answers might do to the fragile hope that bloomed with his return. Inside the living room, Lou and Tim argue in hushed tones. Lou doesn't trust Ty's sudden reappearance. She remembers the pain Amy went through, the nights Lindy cried for her father, the funeral, the closure they all tried so hard to accept, and now this? A man who vanished for years, who let them all believe he was gone. Back without warning, no explanation, just, I had to come back. Tim, however, stands by Ty. He believes there's more to the story. Sometimes people disappear because they're protecting someone, he says, his voice firm. But even he struggles to understand why Ty never sent a message, a sign, anything. Amy finally confronts Ty in the barn, the place where so many of their memories live. Her voice shakes, not with anger, but with heartbreak. Why did you let me think you were dead? Why didn't you come back sooner? Ty doesn't answer right away. His hands tremble as he picks up a bridle, holding it like a shield. Because if I had come back then, you'd be dead. Lindy too. There were people watching, following me. I got too close to something I shouldn't have. Amy's breath catches. Her eyes widen, not in disbelief, but in fear. What do you mean? She asks, stepping closer. Ty reveals only pieces of the truth. After his supposed recovery, he got involved in a secret veterinary research project tied to illegal wildlife trafficking. What started as a rescue mission turned into something darker. He uncovered a network using endangered animals for medical experiments. Powerful people didn't want that exposed. When he tried to report it, things spiraled. Threats came. He was attacked. And then he vanished. Faked his own death to protect the ones he loved. He had help. An anonymous ally who arranged for him to disappear, change his identity, and live in the shadows. All this time, he's been surviving, waiting, watching, aching to come home but too afraid of what might follow him back. Amy breaks down. Tears pour from her eyes as she tries to hold onto him and everything he just said. She understands his fear, but the pain of his absence doesn't go away so easily. You left me to raise Lindy alone, she whispers. I mourned you, Ty. I buried you in my heart. Ty pulls her into an embrace, holding her like he never wants to let go again. I never stopped loving you, he says, his voice breaking. I thought of you and Lindy every single day. Meanwhile, Jack and Lisa sit by the fireplace, quietly processing everything. Jack, ever the rock, reflects on how life at Heartland has always been about second chances. We've seen storms before, he tells Lisa, but this one's going to test us all. Lisa agrees, but reminds him that love has a strange way of finding its way back, no matter how lost it seems. Lindy, unaware of the full story, begins to ask questions. Is Daddy staying forever? She asks Amy that night. Amy looks at Ty, unsure of what the future holds. She doesn't have the answers yet. But one thing is certain. The past is no longer buried. It's back, alive, and standing in the middle of their lives. And so the question shifts from why did Ty return to something far more dangerous. What followed him here? Because if Ty's past really is as dark as he claims, then the family may not just be healing wounds, they may be stepping into danger they never imagined. Heartland has always been a place of healing, but now it must become a place of protection. The calm is over, and what comes next could change everything they've ever known. As the sun dips behind the Alberta hills, a heavy silence blankets Heartland. But this silence isn't peaceful. It's the kind that carries tension, the kind that makes every creaking door and crunch of gravel sound like a warning. Ty's return may have answered a few painful questions, but now it has opened the door to far more dangerous ones. Behind every word he speaks, there's a shadow. Behind every glance, a memory he refuses to share. And Amy feels it, the weight of something unspoken pressing down on all of them. Ty walks through the barn, touching the familiar wood beams like they're sacred. He pauses at Spartan's stall, remembering the old days, the early moments when he and Amy found comfort in healing broken horses together. But nothing feels the same anymore. Even Spartan senses something is off. The horse's restlessness mirrors Ty's own. He's hiding something bigger than a mission gone wrong, something darker than anyone at Heartland is prepared to face. That night, Amy can't sleep. She hears footsteps outside the house, soft, cautious, too deliberate to be Jack or Lisa. She peeks out the window and sees Ty walking toward the trail behind the barn, disappearing into the trees. Without thinking, she throws on a coat and follows. The wind whips around her, as if urging her to stop, but she presses on. When she finally catches up, she finds Ty standing by the riverbank, staring into the water like it holds answers only he can see. He doesn't flinch when she approaches. Instead, he speaks without turning around. "They're still out there, Amy. I don't know how close, but they know I'm back." Amy's heart pounds. "Who are they?" she asks. Ty sighs. "People who trade lives for money. People who think animals, and even people, are just property to be bought, sold, and silenced. I didn't just blow the whistle on their operation. I stole something from them. Evidence, documents, videos, proof of what they were doing. I buried it somewhere safe, and now I think they figured it out." Amy is shaken. She looks around nervously, half expecting someone to step out of the woods. "Are we in danger?" she asks. Ty finally looks at her, eyes heavy with guilt. "Yes, that's why I stayed away. I thought I could keep them from finding you and Lindy. But I was wrong. And now that I've come back, I might have led them right to us." Back at the ranch, Lou discovers something troubling. She's reviewing security footage from the barn cameras, just routine checks, and notices a shadow moving near the fence line late at night. It's not Ty, and it's not anyone they know. Someone has been watching Heartland, and they're getting closer. Lou doesn't waste a second. She calls Jack, who quietly locks every gate and checks the perimeters. Jack's old instincts as a rancher and protector kick in. "We're being hunted," he mutters under his breath, too soft for Lisa to hear, but loud enough for himself to accept. The family gathers that night in the living room. The air is thick with fear and uncertainty. Ty comes clean, fully this time, telling them about the encrypted drive he buried in a remote spot. The one piece of evidence that could expose an international ring of criminals exploiting both animals and people. "They're afraid of being exposed," Ty says. "They'll do anything to stop it, even if it means coming after me or you." Amy grabs his hand. "Then we fight back. As a family, you're not alone anymore." But fighting back won't be easy. The enemy they face isn't just ruthless. It's invisible, untraceable. These aren't thugs. They're professionals. They erase trails. They hide in plain sight. And worst of all, they manipulate truth to make the innocent look guilty. Ty knows it all too well. He was almost framed before. If he hadn't vanished, he'd be dead. Or worse, in prison for crimes he tried to stop. The next morning, a strange vehicle is spotted on the road near Heartland. A dark SUV, tinted windows, slowly crawling past the ranch before driving off. Coincidence? No one believes in coincidence anymore. Jack doubles the patrols. Lou installs extra cameras. Amy teaches Lindy how to recognize danger without scaring her. But deep down, they all feel it. This is only the beginning. And in the shadows, miles away, a man watches a live feed on a laptop. Ty Borden is alive. And now, so is the hunt. Heartland was once a place of healing. Now it's a battleground. The past has returned, but so has the danger. And this time, the stakes aren't just emotional. They're life and death. The question now is, can love protect what fate has already threatened to destroy? Rain lashes against the window panes as a storm brews outside, and inside, the walls of Heartland. It's not just the weather that's turning violent. The threat Ty feared is no longer lurking in the shadows. It has arrived. Heartland, once a sanctuary for broken horses and healing souls, is now a target. The serenity of the ranch has been shattered, and the family must face the harsh truth. Danger is here, and it's not going away quietly. Ty sits at the kitchen table, maps spread out, coordinates circled, old photos and encrypted codes lined up like a silent confession. Jack leans over, his face grim. "This place has been in our family for generations, Ty. I've defended it from fire, drought, and wolves. But this is different." Ty nods. "This is war." Lou interrupts with a gasp. She's been scanning the drive Ty dug up. Her fingers tremble as she flips through the evidence. Videos of illegal animal trafficking, shipping routes, even corrupt officials linked to the operation. The depth of the conspiracy is staggering. "This isn't just about you anymore, Ty," she says. "It's about justice. For the animals. For everyone who was silenced." Suddenly, the power cuts out. The lights go black. Lisa screams from the hallway. Jack rushes to the breaker, only to find it's been deliberately smashed. "We're not alone," he says under his breath. Amy clutches Lindy, trying to stay calm. Lou grabs her phone, but there's no signal. Ty's instincts kick in. Get everyone to the basement, now. As the family scrambles downstairs, Ty steps outside. Rain soaks through his clothes, but he doesn't flinch. In the distance, headlights flicker, cutting through the dark like predator eyes. The SUV is back, but this time it's not just driving by. It's parked, waiting. Ty approaches slowly, cautiously, every step echoing his fear and resolve. A man steps out, tall, dressed in black, face hidden under a hood. You should have stayed dead, the stranger says coldly. You made this messy. Ty doesn't waver. You're not taking anything from me. Not this time. Inside the house, Amy hears the confrontation but can't make out the words. Her heart pounds. Jack holds his rifle tightly, his hands steady despite the years. If they come near this house, we protect it, with everything we've got. But the man outside isn't here for a shootout. He's here for the drive. Give it to me and no one gets hurt, he says. Ty pulls the small metal casing from his pocket. You mean this? He asks. Then, without hesitation, he tosses it into the flames of the fire pit beside him. The man lunges, but it's too late. The drive is engulfed in flames. Ty stares him down. You can't erase what I know. You can't scare me into silence. You'll never win. Just then, red and blue lights cut through the storm. Sirens blare. Police flood the driveway, led by a trusted contact Lou called through an old radio backup. The SUV peels off, tires screeching, disappearing into the night. Officers chase after it, but Ty knows this isn't over. The man will be back. The organization will regroup. Still, the danger has been exposed. And that's a start. Later, as the storm calms and the family regathers in the living room, Amy wraps her arms around Ty. You protected us, she whispers. You brought the truth back with you. Ty holds her tight. And I'm not leaving again. Not ever. Jack raises a glass of warm cider. To family, to Heartland, and to the battles we fight together. The fire crackles. The air is still, and for the first time in a long time, hope burns brighter than fear. But the camera lingers on a shadow just beyond the tree line. A figure watches and walks away, vanishing into the mist. The war may be on pause, but it isn't over. Not yet. Heartland has changed. The past can't be buried, but with love, courage, and unity, this family is ready to face whatever comes next. Because no matter what storm rages beyond the fences, Heartland is more than a place. It's a promise to never back down and never stop fighting for what's right.